All right, we are live. My name is Mighty Beard, and we're back here for another Dungeons and Dragons game. We are here with the Alphacraft crew, and today we're going to be heading to the swamp out of Whitmor. Change the screen here. All right. So yeah, we are out of Whitmor today, and we're going to be heading down to the south. Let's bring up the other map. All right. So yeah, some things have changed on the map. As you could probably notice if you've been following along, but we've got a lot more labels here. I added ships. To the water as well. Yeah, we're gonna be heading down towards Grimhead Marsh, to a city named Blackgate. Now, Blackgate initially was rumored to be the western hub of the continent, but just because it has ample supply of fish, the fishing there is just amazing. As far as not just size of fish but quality. The only con is that it's in a swamp, so that was one thing that they had to battle with, and just could not overcome. So instead, Whitmor, the spot for Whitmor became the hub instead. So let's introduce everyone that is joining us today. I suppose we can go in alphabetical order. By gamer tag, Aletha. Say hello.
Sorry, I was finishing a ginger snap. Hello. I am AlethaPrime, and I will be playing as with Ithurian, a rather young elven druid who is just super excited to be here.
Very good. And we also have Calgrim with us.
Hello, hello. I am the Gamer Hobbit, and I'm playing as Calgrim, a dwarf who just wants to go out of the halls of stone and, adventure into the wild and look for giant stuff.
And Vels.
Hello, I am Inditorias, and I am playing Velskel, a gem dragonborn young adult, and he is trying to move himself and his people and bring them into coexistence with the people of this continent.
So, for those who might be new, hey, Bunny Bun's in chat. Hello, Bunny Bun.
Hey.
Yeah, for those that are new to this whole thing, this is a homebrewed world, and we basically started with scratch. I built the continent first. It is changed a few times since we got started. Placed some cities down, and we're basically building the lore as we go, and that lore is either based on some things that are said. Definitely some improv things that are said, as well as character backstories. We're definitely including that. So this is so the Alphacraft crew is one group. I also have another group that ventures from the eastern coast, from the Unorthodox SMP. But yeah, we're just kind of building things as we go, and encountering things that are out in the wild. But like I said, today we're going to be heading towards Blackgate, and Blackgate there's no road to. A road was started back in the day, back when they first started building Blackgate. So that might actually be something you guys see when you're out there, is the beginning of the road from the coastline to the northeast, as it heads towards the capital and towards Easton. But the swamp is just heavy, and it's constantly growing, constantly overtaking things. So So they never quite finished that. So there is no road currently. The only way to get there is by ship, and because of the beauty of ships, you can travel 24/7 with a rotating crew. So it's going to take you guys a day to get out there, and that day is basically if you leave in the morning. When you wake up the next morning, you will have arrived. Now, the job description, or at least the job brief that you got from Whitmor, and again, for those that are new or trying to follow along and getting lost here, basically this group is part of a adventuring guild. So there are 8 guilds that kind of represent the different types of different responsibilities, different groups of the continent itself. Got your Merchants Guild, your Laborers Guild. You've got your Sages and your Guild of the Arts, that sort of thing. But the Adventurers Guild is basically responsible for a few different things. One is exploration. So their job is to go out with sometimes with cartographers, sometimes with archaeologists, to explore and see what they can find. Another job, especially when you're first joining the Adventuring Guild, you're like one of the main jobs is caravan escorts. So it's helping caravans get from one place to another. There isn't a lot of open conflict here on the continent, but wildlife is wild, so you might run into those things as well. Last time we were together, the Whitmor team, you guys did some investigation, search and rescue. You had to find 2 lost young goblins who had gone out for the day hunting and never came back. So you had to head to the mountains to do that. Today, your job brief is to head to Blackgate because there's been quite a few reports of a lot of bones that seemingly are rising up from the ground. A lot of fish that are floating in the water, both on the coast and inland, but definitely as you get further into the land. But yeah, it's not necessarily something that you really notice up until you start heading into the woods, which not a lot of people do, but it is something that is necessary at times to get wood, or they've got their own group of hunters and gatherers that head out into the forest to get stuff. And yeah, they're just noticing that there's a lot of death around, a lot of bones that seem to appear one day that weren't there before. Not necessarily full bodies, but just random bones, different sizes. Some could be attributed to humanoids, others could be attributed to beasts of some kind, small, large, and it depends. But as a member of the Adventuring Guild, your job is to figure out what's going on. Why is this appearing? Is this really a thing that's happening, that bones are quote unquote rising from the ground, or is it just low tide and water starting to drain? There could be a number of reasons what's going on, but it's up to you guys to go out there and figure it out. As far as earnings go for this job, you guys are going to get 25 gold apiece, and to investigate, report back to Whitmor on what you uncover. You're also gonna be given 2 days worth of rations, as well as a health potion just in case.
Excellent.
So you guys have theoretically 24 hours that you're going to be on this boat. Anything you guys would be doing? Would you wait until you get to Blackgate to start asking questions? Or do you have questions right now out of character?
So are we taking a ship there, or are we traveling by foot?
Yeah, you're taking a boat there.
Oh,
Fastest way.
Wisp is not terribly thrilled by being out on open water. She's nowhere near trees and feels very, very uncomfortable.
Well, the boat's made out of wood, so I mean, there's a plus there.
Well, yeah.
Would you object to going on the boat?
I would need some encouragement, but I wouldn't completely object.
25 gold? Enough encouragement?
Well, I at least have my companions with me, so I'm not like by myself. But she's probably going to spend most of her time below deck.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
however big the ship is.
How is everyone else reacting to the idea of being on a boat?
Calgrim's just drinking away, so he's not worrying about the seasickness just yet. He's worrying about other stuff.
Vels grew up near water, so he's perfectly comfortable being on a boat in water.
Seeing Wisp struggle, or at least seemingly look uncomfortable with the idea. Any words of encouragement or anything that you would do to assist?
Don't worry, just sleep through it. Sleep through the night and you'll be good.
Oh, easier said than done. I'll just imagine that I'm in a tree, in a hammock, rocking back and forth and back and forth. And... Whew. I'm not throwing up by any means, but I also don't feel the best on the water.
Yes, I saw that con save. What was that for?
Just to see how well I'm faring on this boat.
Okay. So the boat itself is small. It's a cargo ship. So it's a sailing ship. But it's got plenty of room for cargo, but not a lot of room. Their basic job is picking up stuff from Whitmor, so supplies like building supplies, that sort of thing, or food, or empty containers down to Blackgate, and then from there picking up fish and anything else that Blackgate is producing to sell back up to Whitmor. So it's kind of like a constant flow.
Okay.
At least this boat. There's a few other boats, but they all pretty much kind of do the same thing. Where there's actually a new settlement that just started a few 10 days ago at Crystal Head, which is a new village that has just popped up above Grimhead Marsh. So yeah, you're seeing quite a bit of activity right now as ships are getting loaded or unloaded, depending. But again, so yeah, you're going to be below deck. Below deck, there are there's obviously a place for people to stay. It's this ship in particular isn't necessarily meant for passengers, as far as like it's not meant to ship a bunch of people from place to place. As far as like traveling boat, it's everything. But there's rooms for crew. There's rooms for like a small room for some other people to come. So plenty of space for you guys. But again, you're going to be on the boat for about 24 hours. So sounds like we've got Calgrim drinking, Wisp.
Actually, if Wisp is good at one thing, it is sleeping. So she's probably going to spend most of the time asleep.
Resting. Okay.
And also trying to see what kind of dreams come.
Okay. Is Wisp known to dream things?
On occasion, there were a few times in the past where, like some of the, there were a few fey creatures from the Feywild that would occasionally, contact her in her dreams briefly or something. Nothing really major, but just kind of harmless communication, so to speak. So she's also trying to kind of reach out to see if she can contact any of them, but nothing's coming through.
Vels, anything you'd be doing?
Vels would just be like for the majority of the day just looking out across the waves, kind of a familiar of home, and then when night falls, he'd go under and take a rest and get ready for the following day of investigation.
The sea is pretty calm. No storms rolling through. The waves are normal. So it's a pretty smooth ride for the most part. Enough wind just to catch in the sails, but otherwise nothing super noticeable.
Oh, good.
But by morning time, when you guys all awake, hear a bell. Might even stir you awake. Yeah, you hear some shouting above that you have reached Blackgate. Now, Blackgate is it's kind of separated from the sea by like this bone-shaped island, and so this ship actually stops a little further away from Blackgate, just because of the size, and yeah, there's not like a lot of traffic of larger boats like this that goes directly to Blackgate. They kind of unload on the island, or they just unload at the sea with some rowboats that come over, pick up stuff, drop stuff off, that sort of thing. So getting off at the island, it's just a small little place. There is some warehouses, and then a lot of boat traffic that pretty much just ferries you from there to the island. About a couple hours. No, it's about an hour. It's about an hour to go back and forth. But as you guys get off of your ferry to Blackgate, it's a small village, maybe 30 structures in total once you get to the mainland. Lot of wood in the builds. There's a stone foundation, but a lot of woods in the build, and it's also a bit not necessarily warmer, but just the trying to think of the word, but it just feels wet. It just feels hot and wet. It's probably not any different temperature than what you experienced yesterday when you were in Whitmor, but it just kind of sticks to you different down here.
The
a lot
humidity.
of bugs out. Yeah, humidity. There we go. A lot of bugs out. You're hearing a lot of bugs. You're seeing a lot of bugs. A lot of large fish like in the water, that you can water as you're rowing from the island to here is pretty shallow, maybe 6 or 7 feet. Kind of cloudy, but yeah, you're seeing some larger fish kind of pass under the boat.
Wisp kind of perks up with seeing some of those fish because she hasn't seen any of that. Well, hasn't seen many that large, and they're just new and fascinating. And she tries to talk to them a little bit, and just to say hello and watch them as much as she can.
Respond in kind. Yeah, they seem rather pleasant. But as you get closer to the shore, there isn't much. The smell over here in Blackgate is pretty bad too. Like the first 2 buildings you see, like on either side of the main dock, are fishing related shops. shops and warehouses and storage. So yeah, it smells like fish everywhere. Fresh fish, dead fish, rotten fish, good fish, fresh fish. Yeah, it's just a lot. It's hard to almost take in. But you see, no one that's there seems to be totally affected by it. Almost embraced it. So yeah, the commoners here a little less dressed than what you are normally used to. So shirts are off or shirts are open. Definitely lighter fabric, so a little bit more airy. But from this main dock, like within a good 100 or so feet into the mainland, you see what appears to be the beginnings of a cobble road. It goes along the coastline, but then one piece of it heads right into the woods. You can kind of see the woods on the horizon past some of these structures, these buildings and shops and houses.
So are we getting here in the morning?
Yeah,
Or-
I'd say it's roughly probably like 9 o'clock in the morning when you guys arrive.
Is there a contact that we can meet here in Blackgate?
Negative, yeah. You weren't necessarily given to anyone in particular, just because it was kind of like open-ended type thing. Yeah, it's not necessarily. It's one of those things where your job is also general protection. So if something seems weird, or the pun is okay, fishy, then you guys would go and check it out. But there's some people around you can definitely ask questions. But otherwise, it seems like the reports were mostly about what's happening past the threshold of the tree line, so you can head straight there too.
I wouldn't mind some breakfast before we head off, actually. If that's okay with you.
That sounds good. Perhaps we could stop by a shop as well and try to see if they know any of more details of the going-ons.
Fine with me, but I suppose the smell is really off-putting. But
Fish
yeah.
for breakfast.
Mm.
That actually sounds really good.
It's probably pretty fresh.
Been a while since I've had fish for breakfast, to be honest.
I'm not a fan of fish. I'll probably skip.
I'm sure they have more than fish. I think. I hope. Do they?
Probably need
Let's
like
go find out.
a steak.
I mean, probably some large bugs around here too.
So, from the center of town, so like the junction of this cobbled road, you see at one corner, is seems to be the only. I mean, it's the only like larger building that you see. It is an inn and tavern. And then behind you, as you guys are walking from the dock to the road, you see that one of the warehouses actually has like a fresh fish market. Seems like they're serving breakfast. There's no tables around, but there's people that are kind of like standing in line and standing around the docks in the area, like eating off of plates that they're holding in one hand.
I'm just
This
kind
is
of
all
holding on to.
within. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is all within like a couple 100 feet walk from you guys. So you just either.
I'm kind of holding onto Velz's shoulder as we walk, as I'm still trying to kind of stop moving.
Yeah, everybody roll me con saves.
Guess I'm not doing that bad.
Let's see.
Yeah, Wisp, the like sleeping through it, sleeping for a majority of the day seemed to help prep you a bit better for this. Is like especially like because like when you're on a ship, you've got the open sea, but there is still remnants of that smell. It's not like they clean out those containers before they put them back on the ship.
Right.
You know, they might like try to rinse them off, but it's there. That smell is there. It's definitely heavier here. I'd say that definitely assists you in getting used to it. Calgrim and Vels though, like you're definitely able to like bear through it, but you're finding yourself like almost like covering your mouth, covering your nose, even if just like accidentally, like you just happen to notice that that's what you're doing, and no one else in the area is. A lot of like boisterous talk. There's a lot of yeah. There's you get the feeling that the people here not only have embraced the smell and the atmosphere, but it's like a part of them now. Like they're also emanating this.
It's just life here on the ocean, or in the swamp.
Yeah, Calgrim's clearly not a fan of this at the moment, of a swamp. There's the stench of it, just the wet earth and the flies, the insects, the water. No.
Yeah, speaking of wet earth, it is like it is pretty muddy. It's a good thing that this cobble is here for you guys to walk on, because you're looking at like the ground around. There's definitely patches of grass and stuff, but it's mostly mud. A lot of footprints everywhere.
I spent the majority of my life in the woods, so I'm not too terribly bothered. You got a nice, good pair of boots, and you're good to go. Just gonna stop and grab some food and sit down for a little bit.
Yeah. So you guys gonna head to the tavern, or are you gonna stay at the fish market?
Probably the tavern.
The tavern.
If that's fine with you too.
Tavern's fine if that's what you want.
I mean, unless you object. I mean, I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
Oh, I'm just hoping that there's like some other food in there besides fish and bugs.
So it really aren't that bad.
Okay. You guys head into the tavern. It's pretty dark. It's not lit well. They kind of depending on that sunlight to come in through windows and the door. But it just hasn't reached that part in the sky yet where it's passing through. But yeah, it's pretty dimly lit. Got some candles around. There's a few people in there that are walking around. Some conversing. It seems like people are leaving the actual inn part of it, which is the upstairs. It seems heading downstairs and walking out, or walking in from outside, going straight to a table or straight to a bar. Would you guys sit at the bar, or would you because there's plenty of seating, so would you sit at the bar, or would you snag a table?
Maybe to snag a table.
And I will follow their lead.
All right, I'm following your lead then.
In a few moments of you guys sitting down, barmaid walks out with a tray of food. And as she passes you guys, she tells you she'll be there in just a minute. Sit down, relax. You see on the tray that she's carrying, definitely looks like eggs, some kind of like potato.
This kind of stands up a little bit to sniff the plate as it walks by.
Yeah, fish. Fish is mostly what you smell. But yeah, there's fish on that plate, but you can see there's some other things on that.
Smells good to me. I think I'll have some of that. What do you guys think?
I'll probably just take the eggs and the potato. Yeah, and just skip the fish.
I'll take your fish then.
How long she's been working here? I wonder if she likes it.
Drops off the food at the other table. She carries the tray back with her and puts it on the table that's next to you guys. And pulls out like a little notebook. What can I get you?
Hi, I'm Wisp. What's your name?
Just real quick, female. Looks half orc. Rather tall. Rather built. Strong. Very, very, very strong looking. But she kind of like side eyes you and Alanis. What can I get you?
Lovely name. I'll have whatever you were carrying earlier. It smelled really good.
I'll just get some eggs and potatoes, please.
Got eggs, potatoes, 2 types of eggs. We got some chicken that we pull in from Whitmor, but we also have crocodile eggs down here as well. Do you have a preference?
Chicken eggs, thanks.
Do you have any crocodile eggs I can see? I've never seen those before.
Find them scattered all over. Especially out in the marsh.
Fascinating.
What kind of fish do you get around here?
Sturgeon. Sturgeon is our main thing. We also have quite a bit of carp. Also, at least for dinner, we serve catfish. No catfish so far this morning.
I'll take
Never had any of those.
Sturgeon would be great. Thank you.
Sturgeon. 3 potatoes, 3 eggs. On its way, anything to drink?
I'll be good, thanks.
Hot if you have it. Not sure what you have here, but something hot.
Tea?
Yeah, tea sounds good.
All right. Be on its way in a moment.
Thank you so much.
Walks back to the kitchen.
I turn to Vels and ask him, have you been to places like this before?
Swamps, not so much. This is very different from where I'm from. I'm from up north, so it's very cold and icy.
Ooh.
Fish are much larger too. I've seen up there.
Really?
I've seen fish up to 10 times the size of what we saw coming in.
So do you live near the water?
Yes, I grew up. Well, it's a bunch of small islands scattered about, and each of our clans held one island. So whenever we visited each other, we traveled across the water.
Very different from where I grew up.
I'll imagine. What was it like where you're from?
Oh, well, it was basically just me and my family for the most part, maybe a few others, but yeah, I grew up in the woods, a little bit to the northeast, and yeah, my family was in charge of keeping an eye on this small part of the forest that had a connection to the Feywild, and in fact, I spent a lot of time out there, and often by myself, and yeah, our job was to kind of keep people out of the Feywild who weren't supposed to be there, but also kind of try and keep an eye on what was coming out and make sure nothing too terrible was. But I mean, it was a small portal, so it wasn't like anything big could come out. Nothing major, just mostly sprites and a fairy here and there and whatnot. But I miss them. Colgrim, what's life like for you growing up?
Me? Well, I was just in the mountains all the time. Just, smithing weapons and forging armor and all that for the dwarves. It was same old kind of thing. Dark, but it was quite warm.
What's your favorite thing that you ever made?
Well, I didn't make the best thing, really, but like, I would say probably the thing I'm most proud of was a mighty axe, and I handed it to my father, and he was quite proud of it. But I haven't seen him in so long, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should pay a visit to them sometime and see how they are. But yeah,
That sounds fantastic.
While this conversation is happening, you were brought to the table. Your tea served first.
Oh, lovely.
But as you guys are eating and talking, there is a bit of a there's a lot of activity in here as far as sound goes. So people at the bar talking, people doorway or up on the top of the stairs talking, and you're hearing the noise from the fish docks as or the fish markets as things are starting to begin outside. Lot of sound, a lot of activity.
At some point in the meal, when I'm like halfway through, I'm gonna randomly walk over to one of the other tables and introduce myself.
Okay. You find a pair eating. Human male, halfling male. They were actually you actually saw them on the ship briefly when you first walked on. For two of the hands on deck that were setting up the sail before you headed downstairs.
I'm gonna walk over to their table and kind of kneel down and be like, "Hi, I'm not sure if you remember me. We were on the ship together. How are you?"
The human looks over. He's a bit gruff. Peppered beard, bald head, but he's got like a bit of a cap on. Good. Didn't see much of you.
Oh, I'm not much for the water.
Not for everyone.
I slept through most of it. Anyway, what do you know about these parts? Like, is there anything weird going on? Anything noteworthy that you might know?
He takes a drink. As you're talking, and it definitely goes down the wrong hole. But he looks over. Well,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No. Sometimes I forget how to drink. But
Oh, I've done
anyways,
that too.
So, well, I'm not from here. Urki is, but from what I hear, there are some weird things that have been happening. A lot of bones showing up out in the woods. I haven't seen it myself. Urki, have you? And the halfling looks over and kind of shakes his head no. No, but one night on the ship, when we were wrapping up, putting crates on. Just out of the corner of my eye, I saw something on the edge of the woods. It just looked like a dark shadow. At the time, I didn't really think anything of it. But occurrence that I think others have experienced as well. Could be anything in the woods or just fog coming in. It's hard to tell. There is a lot of fog in this area at times.
I like the fog. It's very calming, don't you think?
Well, at times when you're not on a ship. When you're on a ship, well, fog is not your friend.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it would make it hard to see. Guess I never really thought of it that way.
What brings you out this way? You're part of the Ventures group,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we are. So we were told that there's some strange occurrences out here, maybe? And we're trying to find out what's going on. So I'm just
Nuts.
asking around, seeing if anyone knows anything. Well, I hope you enjoy your breakfast. It was definitely a ride on the ship, and I wish you well in your coming adventures. And then I head back to my table.
Just about that time, the waitress pops back over. Enjoying everything? And to your
Oh.
liking?
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Do you know of anything weird that's going on around here? We just came into town. We're sort of adventurers, investigators, and we're trying to figure out if there's kind of what's going on around here.
Yes, that there has been a story of bones and dead fish once you go into the inlands. I haven't been myself.
Which direction would you say? Like north or east? Or...
Into the woods, as far as I'm aware. I think it's pretty much everywhere. Got someone who provides us the crocodile eggs, and he had mentioned in passing that there was some bones that he saw that almost if they floated up to the surface, just as he looked around for the eggs and didn't see any, turned back around, and there was a bone on them. But it's the mud is weird out here. It's hard to know what to believe. You can get stuck in that mud pretty quickly, pretty easily. Maybe it's just something that just bubbled up to the surface.
Oh, that doesn't sound good at
Animal or
all.
something.
Well, you can rest assured that we will do our best to see if we can find out what's going on. And you've been incredibly helpful. Thank you so much.
Goes around and starts checking out some other tables. You know how they're doing. Overall, you guys have been here about 20 minutes, so service is pretty quick. Yeah, the fish is it's a little dry, but seasoned pretty well. A little spice to it. It's also kind of looks like it's been blackened on a grill. Potatoes are but it has a bit of a sauce on it. Whitish yellow sauce. And the tea was good. Didn't taste like anything that you've experienced before, specifically like a specific taste that's different. But you know, it's tea. Almost had like a darker color to it.
I may not be taking this home with me, but it was a neat experience nonetheless.
So some general lore that you guys would be aware of, just by being citizens here and being sent down here. Like Blackgate gets its name just because the mud in the dirt is a darker color. It's not completely black, but it's definitely like a real dark, rich brown. And again, it once was considered as a spot to be the western gate of the continent. You would know that the Grimhead Marsh extends about 12 miles in all directions, so northeast, southeast. It would kind of be up to you guys on what direction you'd like to go.
The main cobble road that goes through the city, does it like end at one point on like the edge leading into the marsh?
Yeah, it looks like it goes out a bit along the coast. The one that's heading directly through the center of town, into the marsh itself, the like the tree line. At least from where you guys were standing, you didn't see where it ended. But it looks like it heads directly northeast into the woods.
Shall we follow this main road and see where it takes us?
Yeah.
Might as well.
See where it leads.
Apparently, we're just supposed to go into the woods, which is perfectly fine with me. I guess we'll follow the cobblestone road for a while, as long as we can, I guess.
As long as we can, and then just keep going afterwards.
Yeah. So what's the process here? What do you guys like? Again, you're down here to investigate. So what's your what's that process look like?
Well, first we need to find where all these bones are and whatnot, thing rising up. Once we find that, then perhaps we can like dig deeper. Until then, all we have is word of mouth. So,
Do we see any bones as we're traveling along
Yeah.
the road?
Well, as you get past like the last row of houses, the like there's a good like 200 feet before the tree line. You are noticing like small like little pools of water. They just kind of appear when it rains, like types of things. But as you guys pass into the woods, you're gonna notice a bit more of those. They're a little longer, a little larger in size, and there definitely is signs of two things. One, you are seeing a few random bones, and like this is not even a half mile out of from the shoreline, but you are seeing like some just random bones. Some dead fish in these small ponds. They look there's another fish that's known from this area. They're called mud skippers, and they are more inland, but they don't taste good, so no one that's not something that like people use or sell, but it is known that they go from like these little standing ponds to standing pond. But you're definitely seeing some some alive ones as well as some dead ones.
So as far as the bones, are they mostly like from? Are they mostly small?
I would say as you guys continue to travel this cobble road, you get maybe we'll say like a mile deep, and throughout that stretch, you saw a handful, so maybe like 5 or 6 of just randomly placed on the in these like little mud patches off of the road. And they range. Some are larger than others. I would say a majority of them are smaller animal, like game, birds, maybe rodents of some kind. But there are a few that look maybe larger, like a larger dog, or maybe humanoid of some kind. But it's like a thigh bone, or no, like a femur, or like something that's it's large enough to notice, but it's not anything easy to identify source. And some are just kind of laying flat, half covered in the mud. Some are like sticking straight out of the mud.
The majority of
other
it's
thing
just
you
kind of
guys are
small
gonna-
animals.
I'm sorry. Like the other thing you guys are gonna notice, like real quick, is like the sound is gonna change as you get further away, especially like a mile in to the Grimhead Marsh. You're gonna see or you're gonna hear like almost all conversation stops. Like you're not hearing anyone talk, which was pretty heavy. It was a pretty heavy sound in Blackgate. But now that you're further, almost the only thing that you're really hearing is just the constant sound of bugs buzzing around. You're starting to hear some frogs chirping, like deep-throated frogs chirping. Every once in a while you hear like an owl hoot.
Does the smell get worse as we go further in?
It's different. It's not the fish smell. Like that's almost hard to like get out of your senses. But yeah, the smell as you get further away from town is more like wet, rotting wood. And yeah, it's like just a lot of like moss, and yeah, it's definitely I wouldn't necessarily say it's a worse smell, but it's definitely a different smell. Wisp, it might be a better smell for you.
I've smelled, dead trees and fungus and stuff like that before, so it doesn't bother me quite as much. It's better than the fish smell.
Find it still just as bad.
Yeah, for Vels, I guess it's still just as bad.
Occasionally going up to any tree that I see, well, every other tree or so, and just kind of like running my hands across the bark, trying to take in the different types of trees that I haven't seen before, and see what they feel like, and kind of try and get a sense of them. And it's kind of fascinated
Moist.
by everything that I see.
Moist, a little softer. Like almost as if like if you pressed really hard, you can probably leave a fingerprint.
I try to do that. Like I press real hard on some of the bark.
As you do, actually breaks some of the bark. Bark like start to fall, but it's just there's also like a layer of moss and vines that have kind of like dug into it as well that hold it in place.
Ooh. I'm gonna take one of the leaves and hang on to it.
So that's like a mile in. Cobble Road is still there. Another mile goes by, and you can see ahead that, and really, like throughout this entire time, the road has been starting to be overtaken by mud and overgrowth. But you can see like a few 100 feet away, like you're not seeing the cobble anymore. Like it is just covered with standing water, and it's almost like this was like a dock, and the dock just kind of like ends.
Wisp just kind of childishly goes over to one of the puddles and kind of doesn't necessarily stomp in it, but just kind of like gets her feet wet and does like a little shimmy in there.
Can I get a dexterity save?
Sure. Dexterity saving throw.
You're not trying to like jump in there, but you are getting your feet in there. The mud does catch the bottom of your foot. You have to almost grab the top of your boots to pull it out. And it's just dripping this mud and water. But yeah, like again, you barely like touched it, and it seemed to want to take you in.
Ooh, that was fun, but we have to be. I guess we got to be careful with these.
Seeing
As you
that, are
guys
there
are
any
looking
like?
at, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say so seeing that, are there like any trees nearby, or like anything that would have like a loose piece of wood near the cobblestone that I can like grab and like just to throw it into the mud and see what happens? Like seeing that it was trying to hold down on.
There's definitely some
Whit-
like low hanging branches, that you can pull from for sure. There's some. Again, if you saw a wisp touch some of the bark, it seemed to be easy to break off. So it'd be up to you.
Yeah, so I'll just grab one of the branches and go back to kind of where Wisp was, and just throw it in the mud and just see what happens.
What's the size of the wood? Is it a stick, or is it more flat, like a piece of bark?
Whatever the
or a log?
first medium to small size branch I found was.
Okay, yeah. So again, there's like a lot of overhang over the road. That'd be easy to grab, or just reaching off the edge. But yeah, you can grab a branch, and it breaks pretty easily. There's definitely a mixture of live and wet trees, and some more dead trees that look like they were in the process of falling down, but just kind of held up by everything around them. But you're able to take one of the branches and you toss it in the mud. I'd say it'd probably be a couple of pounds, maybe. At least like the chunk that you got. And
Wisp goes and stands on the branch.
Okay. Yeah, it hits the water. There's a bit of a splash. One thing. Let's look here real quick. Wisp, you're gonna notice almost like instantly as it hits the ground, and it splashes in a puddle. You're gonna hear like the wildlife sounds go kind of quiet, at least the ones that are nearby. The bugs are still buzzing, but the frogs chirping, the owl hoot, you don't hear for a few minutes after this, but definitely you hear like the frogs kind of stop. And but yeah, as it hits, it splashes, and you go ahead and put your foot on it, Wisp, and it just sinks right in. Everybody roll me perception. Dang. All right. Everyone's rolling good today. Well, I mean, now.
Wow.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna notice a few things. Like there has to be some weight behind it for it to sink in. But where you threw it, excuse me, where you threw it, like you're definitely seeing like there's some obvious mud pits, and there's some obvious dry bits that you can continue to walk on. So it's not like it's not like you're just walking into standing water everywhere. It's like little pockets, but you're definitely seeing like this particular spot that you threw it is one of these mud pockets. And yeah, it like the mud just kind of grabs a hold of it and pulls it down.
Wisp is going to start using her staff to just kind of poke at the ground a little bit every now and then to see if there are any spots that kind of sink a little bit faster.
Yeah, again, you can definitely like you're definitely seeing the change in like the coloration. So like the more reflective it is, the more wet it is. Therefore, the more easy it is to sink in. Got more of like a duller covering to it. It seems a bit more sturdy. You guys travel a bit furthermore, and you come across appears to be like an old wagon. Seems like half of it's in the mud.
Ooh.
The other half that's out is just wet. Definitely, you're smelling a bit of rot coming from it. You can definitely see that it's got a lot of moss and overgrowth over top of it. Broken or upended crates around it. I would say maybe like 3. One on the wagon bed itself, another that's on the ground behind it, and then one that's like in between where the cobble road still is. So let me rephrase something. So as you continue to travel the cobble road like disappears for a couple 100 feet, and then you see like a little patch of it kind of pop up. But this wagon definitely seemed like it was probably traveling the road at some point. Definitely looks old. Based on how overgrown it is, it's probably been there for quite a while. Maybe close to a decade.
Well, I, as the curious creature that I am, going to walk right up to it and get on top of it if I can.
Yeah, you can definitely get up on top of it, and as you do, it kind of rocks a little bit as it sinks a bit further into the mud. You also feel like the wood kind of bow as you do, like as you step. But yeah, some obvious things that you notice is there is a marking in the direct center, like where the reins go for horses or oxen. But there's a little symbol for Easton. Most likely, this was something that was supplied from Easton. Maybe that's where it was heading towards.
That's quite a ways away.
Yeah.
And the other obvious thing is, I mean, there's really nothing. there's like no man-made things inside. It seems like maybe they got stuck in the mud, pulled everything off, and just headed out. Like it wasn't worth salvaging. Or whatever was in here in the crates has been gone through by wildlife, or just deteriorated. No, there's no real signs of what it was that they were taking.
Let's look through the crates and see if there's anything that might have been, I don't know, anything weird
Yeah, nothing weird. Really the only thing that you see that's left in one of the upended crates, like all of their lids have been opened, or either on the side or just gone. Like you don't see them. A lot of it, like 2 of the 3 crates have sides that have definitely like rotted away, but the one that's still like on a piece of this cobble road, there's some fabric in there. Looks like a tarp of some kind. Again, there's really nothing else there. There's almost like a layer of mud that's kind of like caked over top of it.
Well, this was much less interesting than I thought it was going to be, and I stepped down off of the wagon and kind of look at the others.
Well, I suppose we should move on. It doesn't look like there's much here then.
It's definitely curious, but
Are there any
see
bones around?
Random, yeah. Nothing near the like nothing directly under or near the cart, but around, yeah.
Still just kind of like the small animals and things that we've already seen more or less.
Correct, yeah.
Well.
You've definitely seen what others have reported. You know, you're seeing the bones. You're seeing some of the dead fish that are there. It doesn't quite like nothing is definitely seeming. I mean that there's obviously something wrong with bones like scattered about, but like you're not sensing any weirdness, I guess.
Are there any animals nearby?
You're just hearing the distant hoot of an owl. Maybe 2 or 3 owls. Can't pin their location. It is a bit thicker here as far as the canopies go. So it's hard to see through up into the branches. The frogs, seemingly all around. They're not totally visible, but you definitely can sense that they're close. It's that loud.
Okay, I'm gonna try and keep an eye out for any animals that I actually see as we keep walking. I'm assuming we're still kind of following the road more or less as we can see it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, it's gonna like this general feel that you've got as far as like these scattered bones, these different pockets of mud and standing water, constant sound of the bugs around, the chirping of frogs around you, just getting louder and louder as you guys continue to head through. Travel maybe another mile or 2. Again, just to try and find like something to take back to Whitmor. And you're gonna come across there's like a little patch of cobble kind of stand on. And I imagine like once you guys like reach this, like that's when you stop to look around so that you can, you know, because when you're walking through the mud, you're constantly poking at the ground. But here on the cobble, you have a chance to scan. But just off the road, maybe 100 feet or so, definitely see on the ground what appears to be a set of dead humanoids. Again, aged. There is some overgrowth over top, but it seems like they're mostly skeleton, but yeah, the bodies are pretty bare and going.
I get an idea of how long they've been here.
Give me a nature check.
Hmm.
Since you've seen it mostly bones, your best guess is that it probably been at least a year. Maybe longer. There are some rotten clothes around. Not everything has been pulled away from it.
Like, how many bones are there? Are there like a couple of skeletons, or is it just like it seems like one body?
There's two
Or
bodies.
is it hard?
Yeah. So if you guys, there's definitely like two different piles. So if you guys get closer, if you want to investigate this, we can. I think from your vantage point on the cobble, looking off into the mud, you know, I think I said 100 feet, like maybe like 20, 25 feet off. But we can.
Do we
definitely
have do we have an idea of how many people come this way, or is it kind of a irregular thing?
Well, from the information that you got when you were in Blackgate, and probably what you heard on the ship, or in Whitmor when you're getting this job, is that not a lot of people venture out into the marsh. Again, there was a road that they were starting to build, but yeah, actually heading into the marsh is not something that most people do. You've got the people like the one guy who collects crocodile eggs and stuff for the tavern that you're at. Someone like him might venture out, but otherwise, yeah, it seemed like most people stayed out, and you haven't seen anyone walk around.
Mm-hmm. People aren't out here unless they have a reason to be out here.
Correct.
I just find it interesting that nobody's come for these skeletons. I mean, did somebody not know that they were missing, or I don't know. It's interesting. And she kind of bends down and she's gonna head towards the skeletons.
Yeah, Bells will go over there to check it out as well, but being careful with the ground and footing.
Sure. Galgrim?
Calgrim just stays where he is. He's just surveying the area.
Okay. So for Vels and Wisp, as you guys get closer to these piles of bones, it definitely appears to be full or full-ish skeletons. Looks like either like they're definitely humanoid. They've got some like rotten clothes that have fallen away at with time. But yeah, they're definitely humanoid, maybe either dwarven or halfling in height. So maybe one of those, or maybe a younger humanoid, or I'm sorry, a younger human. So yeah, so as you guys walk forward and look down at these two guys, those are the things you see. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna like pick up the skeleton and start just kind of staring at it because I've never really seen skeletons before, and so I'm just both fascinated and curious and slightly mortified, and also really just wondering what their history is and just thinking way too much.
Picking up a skeleton is not an easy task.
Well, just the skull.
Okay. And Bells, what are you doing at this point?
I was initially just going over to get a closer look, so I'm just gonna watch as Wisp is fascinated by the skull, I guess.
All right. Well, I would be fine with either investigation or perception from both of you. The Vels, as she picks up one of the skulls, you kind of scan around. The one thing that catches your attention is you're seeing bits of metal around. One thing, it seems like there's like 3 or 4 of them appear to be arrowheads. The other thing you're going to see is what appears to be an axe head. You're not seeing the handles or the shaft of the arrow, but again, with time and in this atmosphere, plausible that they would rot away. But they definitely, if these things belong to these two, they definitely came in with weapons of some kind. Wisp, what you're gonna notice as you pick up one of these skulls to check it over, it's kind of face down, so as you pick it up, rotate it to look at its face, very obvious that the skull was fractured. Looks like it's smashed in almost. Orbital bone is just shattered, like not even there. You realize it's on the ground, just kind of laying there. There is like a dent in the top of the head.
I just kind of hold it up and show it to Vel. It's like something hit this real hard. I'm like pointing to the spot. Do you see it right here? Yeah.
Yeah, that's. They were definitely adventurers. There's marked pieces of metal that look like they were armed, so.
Oh.
Maybe they were attacked by something? Out here, though, that's very unusual. Or maybe. What could survive out here?
I just shout back
Them.
to Colgrim. Something hit it in the head.
Ah, okay. Calgrim walks over through the mud towards him.
And as you do, Wisp, like you turn back around to look at these bodies, and then kind of scan around the area, see if there's any signs of like what would have caused that in the near vicinity. But you are going to notice you're not going to notice any of that, but you are going to notice what appears to be a pack that's on the ground, like a backpack, a good like 15 feet further back from these guys.
I just drop the skull and go towards the pack. Like my attention has been diverted. So.
Appears to be made out of leather. So Bell's hypothesis was these guys were adventurers. So if this is a adventuring pack of some kind, definitely more durable than what you guys have now. So, this is probably something that was 20 or so years ago. And if this was an adventuring group, they're probably one of the first scouting groups came out. Maybe like just after the road was starting.
I pick up the pack and go over to Vel's and relay all that information.
Yeah, as you pick it up, it feels kind of heavy. It feels like, I mean, it's wet. Mud just kind of drips off of it as you pull it out.
I drag it over to our friends before I dig into it.
Yeah, by heavy I mean like maybe like 20 pounds.
I'm just kind of dragging it through the mud a little bit. And I eventually start reaching inside and see if there's anything interesting in there.
Okay. As you open it up and you stick your hand in, feel some webs. But they break off easily. Almost like they're old spider webs. I imagine you're looking as you do. So as soon as you reach your hand in, you feel that, you look in, and yeah, there's maybe 2 or 3 spider webs in there, but they look rather old. But you do feel and you do see a very cold, smooth stone in there, black in color.
I reach in there and pull it out.
Appears to be the only thing that's in there. As you pull it out, it seems kind of some kind of statue, idol of some kind. Fits in the palm of your hand, like from middle finger to the base of your thumb. Definitely strange looking. Very smooth on the back side, but as you flip it over and take a look at the front, looks to be humanoid and sitting position. No features for arms and legs, so maybe they're wearing a robe of some kind. But the face, like again, it looks like the body shape of maybe a human, but the face of used to be a dragon.
Ooh. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna like take it over to Vels and just kind of like almost put it in his face. It's got a face kind of like yours.
It does. Is it like a lot larger, like a dragon, or like a dragonborn skull?
Well, it's definitely wearing some kind of hood.
Okay.
Don't get the full view of the neck or anything. It can go either way. It's not, it's definitely not carved to scale. It's definitely not carved precisely.
Okay.
It's a little bit more
Artist rendition.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit rudimentary in how it's built.
Do I recognize the stone that it's made from?
Go ahead and roll nature or history.
Nature. Nope. This is a rock.
It's possible that it's just really dirty. But yeah, there's definitely like a darker sheen to it. But it's been sitting in a pack for so long. And yeah, there's a bit of mud on it as well. It's hard to tell. But it's definitely dark, black in color. Much like everything else on the ground that you see outside of the plant life.
I'm gonna hold it up to Vels and be like, you can keep this. I mean, it kind of reminds me of you, and I think you might like it. And, yeah. Why don't you have this?
All right, I'll take it. I don't think I have anywhere like good to put it though. So
You got a pack of some kind. Sure, you got
yeah,
pockets.
but if it's like the size of a skull,
No, no, no. It's the
Oh,
size
oh
of.
no, it's a model. Okay.
Yeah,
Palm size.
Okay.
It fits a new palm.
Smaller. All right.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's
Understood.
heavy. It's like a good 15 pounds. But yeah, it's definitely something
Wow.
you can still put
Okay,
easily.
so it's a tiny model made from like a really dense material. Okay.
Yeah.
I can
I
fit my
mean,
pouch then.
from your history as far as things that you've seen like this, like it could go either way. It could be dragonborn, it could be dragon. But it definitely you're seeing there's obvious similarities between the two. So that's why it's difficult to tell. And there's no like real other markings to it. But it could be dragonborn. It is humanoid in how it's shaped. Again, it looks like to be in some kind of seated position. Almost like it's in a chair, but you don't see the chair.
Does the bag feel like it's kind of rotted away, or is it still intact, more or less?
I mean, it's old, kind of cracked, very wet feeling. It's made out of leather, so it is probably salvageable. But yeah, as you pull that out, it is much lighter. Really nothing to it.
Intriguing me, so I'm just gonna kind of hang on to it for a bit until I don't know, until I get bored of it or something. Until we find a use for it.
All right, so Vels, you're gonna take that little statuette. Where you putting it?
I was gonna put it in my pouch or satchel bag.
So it's like on your back or to your side?
Let's see. Backpack, so it'd be like more on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
More flavor. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Just want to know how you're carrying stuff. But okay. But yeah, again, looks like skulls crashed in, like crushed in. And yeah, as you guys look at the other bone, like you're seeing similarities. You've seen bones broken. There's definitely some obvious like chew marks. So, maybe a wild animal has come to it after the fact and has been biting it. So plausible that maybe it was caused by something like that. But they both share the similarities, like the skull is cracked.
You said there were two skeletons. Are there two skulls?
Yes.
Does the other one look cracked as well?
Yes. They both have that similarity to it.
Interesting. So I have to go over and look at the second skull. I hold it up as well. Be like, it happened to this. The same thing happened to this one too. It's. But then I also really don't want to take a skull with me, so I'm just going to put it back down and. Yeah.
Okay. And what's the thought? You guys are gonna continue walking here?
Unless there's anything else that we want to look at, I think we can probably keep going.
I think we can, trudge along.
Yeah. Keep going.
Much of the scenery is similar enough. But you guys are going to travel maybe another couple of miles. So we're roughly about 6 miles through the marsh from the shoreline. Wisp, you are going to see a log on the ground, and there's a turtle on the back of it, sticking out of one of the ponds. bit of a ray of sunshine coming through the canopy right there. Turtle is inside of its shell.
Going to briskly walk up to the turtle and tap it on the shell and cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, go ahead and put that in the chat.
Do. Bloop.
All right, verbally communicate with the beast for the duration. Duration is 10 minutes. Knowledge and awareness of the beast is limited, but by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within in the past day. Okay, so you tap on the shell
Gently.
and
Hello,
you cast
Mr. Turtle?
this.
Do you have
it's
a
a bit
moment?
of a muffled sound, but you do hear hello, why are you bothering me?
Oh, I just had a quick question, if you don't mind.
Suppose I could answer.
So have you seen a lot of these bones around here recently?
What bones? And he's gonna start to stick his head out and his neck out, look around, and then looks up towards you, all very slowly.
Do I see any bones nearby?
Other side of the road, maybe like or this path, maybe about 30-40 feet away.
I'm gonna
looking at
point
it,
to them and be like, kind of like those. Do those look familiar?
You see, he kind of squints his eyes over, looks back at you, and slowly starts pulling its head and neck back into its shell. No.
Oh, have you seen any like it nearby?
Bones. Mud. But
Do
I
you-
have no interest.
Do you know where they came from?
No.
Do you know who might know?
As this conversation is happening, Vels, you're gonna feel like a bit of a pain in your back, or back. Almost like there's like something warm on your lower back. It's like a small vibration, but it's starting to bother you a bit. Kind of adjust the pack, and it goes away for a second, and then that feeling appears further up in your back, your side.
You know, like reach in and because like the only thing that's different between now and earlier when there was no pain would have been like the skull I put in. So I'm gonna pull it out. Just like, does it like feel warm or anything, or
Statuette.
I don't
you
know.
mean, not
That's-
the
yeah,
not the
statue.
skull.
I keep.
You didn't
Yeah.
take the skull. Yeah.
know.
Yeah. As you open up the pack and look in and reach in where you had placed it and pull it out, it's definitely warm. You feel like almost like your hands vibrating a bit.
Wrist.
Like as you do that, what are you looking at?
Well, if it's vibrating, I'm like, I guess like, well, pulling it out, I'd look at it and be like, oh, that's weird. It's vibrating. It's doing some weird magic type stuff. So it's like wisp.
I'm still focused on the turtle.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you know what
she's
might have done
further
it?
away.
I'm also really focused right now.
oh.
Yeah, this is all happening at the same time. Go ahead.
Okay.
But Calgrim is next to you.
Oh. I guess Calgrim's closer then. Calgrim, this statue is vibrating and what? I don't understand. Huh?
That's
No, like,
weird.
Would it be Arcana to like kind of just guess what's happening? Arcana check or something?
Sure.
Nope.
Magic could be involved in causing this. It's also something that you know you've felt like for like the last quarter mile, but it's not until like now that you are starting to like it's starting to bother you. So like as you pull it out, it is vibrating enough that like you can see your hand move, your fingers bounce around. It definitely could be magic, but like what it's doing, no idea. But if you flip it around in your hands, like you can see in the face is starting to get like almost like a reddish tint to it. Now it is warm. It's not hot, but it is like when you initially picked it up, it was cold. Now it is definitely warm. Now it's been in your pack. It's been up against your body, so that could be part of it. Maybe there's something else going on. Magic.
Belle's just gonna guess magic at this point. Some magic I don't understand.
Balgrim, what's your thoughts as
Yeah.
you see this? You do see a bit of a reddish glow around the face.
I don't know. Maybe thinking of like could be some kind of magic thing, but I go closer to Val, and then I maybe suggest like, did you do anything? Like did you touch it or press a button, or like did it just happen?
It just happened. It's just been in my pack, and as we've gone this way, it's been getting more and more intense now. It's starting to bother me, and I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, neither. Strange. Should we try and like cool it down perhaps?
Maybe?
How would you go about that?
Is there any like water nearby? Like little water puddles or something like that?
Yes, of course. Throughout this area.
Any water?
Maybe perhaps try and put it in one of those puddles. See if it does anything.
Be careful. Yeah, go over there and just dip it in, but being like really careful not to get into mud or anything that's going to try to yoink it down, considering it is heavy.
Okay. So you lower it down, put it into the water. See if that helps cool it. As it touches the water, you're seeing some reflections from the water. It's mostly dark. Again, like it's a dimly lit wood. Got some beams of sunshine coming in, especially where Wisp is, but otherwise, otherwise it's pretty dark. But as you lower it down into the water, you're gonna notice like almost like a pulse of red come from. Very, very faint, but noticeable. As it hits the water, it just kind of ripples through the water. And as you pull it out, the red in the water fades away. But yeah, you're noticing like almost like a pattern to the statue. Like, so it's like it's kind of vibrating constantly, but not like not rapid fire, like not da 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 da. Like it's like there's almost like a pattern to it. And after seeing it in the water, you're noticing that it's not just a red coloration that is starting to form on the face. It's almost emitting
I don't think it's heat then. Seems like it's just.
but yes, the water did nothing. The water did
Okay,
nothing.
water did
Made it
nothing.
away.
Range must be some kind of magic kind
Yeah,
of
that's the only
protection
explanation,
thing.
but I haven't seen anything like this, so it's very strange.
Wisp, the last question you asked was, do you know where the bones came from? Correct?
Mhm.
We'll look up to you and say, maybe it walked here.
Do you know where it might have walked from? Like which direction?
Everybody roll me perception. If
And
the
Wisp isn't paying
conversation
attention to
doesn't-
any of this like statue stuff. She's totally focused on this turtle.
You guys are roughly 25 to 30 feet away from one another. So as far as like the split party.
Don't notice very much apparently.
Yeah. It does not respond, but Calgrim, you're gonna notice. You're gonna start hearing like the sounds of bubbles, almost like. And as you look around, you're gonna start to see bones raise from the ground around you.
Oh, what the? There's bones coming out of the ground. What?
You guys do another map, and skeletons are gonna start to appear. Half in the water, but coming up. And this is where we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
Get your refills, everyone who is watching from wherever you're watching from.
Yay, it's a new map.
Yeah, get an eye break. Do what you need to do. We'll be back in about 5 minutes ish.
Yo.
All right, back.
I'm here as well.
Very good.
I'm here as well.
And this music is good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think was missing from.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, well, and it's hard finding music you can stream.
Right.
I think I found a good mix.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, how long have you guys been playing D&D? Like, I know how it's new, but I'm curious about.
Let's see. I like really started playing it. What 20? Yeah, it would have been 2020. Yeah, because or one of my friends from college, she was always telling me about her like sessions. And then they started a Star Wars one, and she knew I was like a huge Star Wars nerd. She's like, "Hey, you want to join?" I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Awesome.
So yeah.
I've been playing, I think, since 2014-ish. Maybe a little bit later. But I was introduced with 5e. So whenever that came out, I guess. Yeah, I've been playing since. I haven't really played any other game like this. Though I did dabble once as a player for Vampire of the Masquerade. Which, you know, I don't know. I didn't really get into. Like, I'm definitely into this vibe. This vibe is good for me.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I've DM'd, I think in total, 3 other groups, besides you guys, or besides like this campaign itself. So I've been playing with the same players from my initial campaign when I got introduced. I'm still playing with them now. And then one of the, it was the second group that I started with. I'm still playing with them. Like we've done, three different, yes, like 3 different campaigns, like different story arcs, and I think we've been together for about four years now. And then yeah, so and what's nice is, like, you know, I was introduced as a player, obviously, so I played for probably about 2 years before I started DMing. And then DMing is like that tradition that you pass down. So some of my Tuesday players have ran one shots or like small things. But I just finally got one of them to run like a full campaign. You know, a campaign's like a year, you know, a year's worth of content kind of thing. So it's nice that I was finally able to convince one of them to do something long term, and allows me to play. Because like once you get looped into DMing, like you're the forever
You're stuck as a
DM.
DM.
Yep.
Yeah. And Aletha,
Yeah, I
what
just
about you?
Yeah, I just started playing last year, probably around February or March. One of my coworkers had a group of a coworker that had moved away, so I knew him, and then some of his friends, and so there's a group of 5 of us, and we still meet just about every Wednesday night for our campaign, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and very slowly and gradually working on my own one shot at some point, because I'd like to DM at
Nice.
some point, but
Yeah.
I'm not quite ready yet. So, but we're getting there. Someday it'll
Um,
happen.
Yeah, from my perspective, the first time you DM will suck.
Oh yeah,
Suck.
I'm expecting it.
Yep.
But it's also from your perspective, it'll suck. Probably won't suck for everyone else.
hmm
They'll probably enjoy it, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to like wrap your head around like the entire thing. It's a lot of information. Like as a player,
Right.
you really only need to retain like what you experienced, not necessarily everything that's going on. But as a DM, like there's so much to
Mhm.
think about.
And things not going exactly as you anticipated, and
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's always the improv role play that brings up other things that you weren't even prepared for.
hmm oh, DM is Dungeon Master, so the person who's
Correct.
running the game.
Yeah. It's either called a dungeon master or a game master, depending. But okay, well I think we're all back. You guys ready to get back into it?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm still focused very much on this turtle, though.
Yeah, you're not noticing anything else. But the turtle did mention Bones walking. So everybody, let's go ahead and roll initiative, as
Ooh.
well as D6s.
Initiative. Wow. And a d6.
Just a reminder, the D6s
no.
are thing. It's a roll for me. It's a roll for me to determine some things. So basically, I'm looking for one of two numbers, either a 6 or a 1, and it won't necessarily change the situation, but it could add some niceties to it. So a 6 would mean that there's some kind of like there's something like more information. You would collect more information. This is something that I need to do at the top of the game, but I always forget. I always forget to ask for it. But yeah, it could add more information or make things a bit easier to understand from the get-go, or it could be, you know, finding like a cache of health potions, or, you know, just something to benefit you guys in the situation. Ones are the exact opposite. Ones are worst case scenario is worse, is bad. Calgrim, you did not show up in the
Initiative?
order. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where that is, sorry. Because I can't see it
So-
on the attributes.
So if you have your token selected, there should be a bar at the top that pops up. It's under utility. Or if you're on your character sheet, on the
In the top right-hand corner, kind of.
yeah, underneath your level and your proficiency, there's the word initiative. You can just click initiative. For me.
Oh, cool. Thank you, yeah.
Either method.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so Calgrim, you're going to notice this. I believe I heard you say something out loud. So Vels would be aware as well. Wisp, you're unaware of this happening, but bones are starting to rise from the mud, and technically, as they rise, they are prone, but as they get out of the water, they are standing. So, with that said, Wisp, you're still talking to this turtle. The turtle had said, maybe the bones had walked. What would you like to do?
I'm just thinking that over and trying to think of the next question that I want to ask this turtle before it falls asleep.
Focusing on the turtle.
We're having a lovely conversation.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Don't mind if I do. Bloop. Nope.
Your focus on this turtle has taken focus away from not stepping into a muddy part.
Oh dear.
But you are going to notice that your feet are feeling a bit more wet. And as you think about the next question, you look down and you notice that you don't see your feet anymore. You are chin, maybe top of foot high, maybe a little ankle high in this mud. But as you like just vaguely try to move, yeah, it feels like you're stuck.
I feel like I should have seen this coming, but I didn't.
So technically you are restrained. It just means you can't move.
Right. Well, I'm gonna try and move my feet out of the mud.
Okay. Strength. Give me a strength check. So maybe athletics.
Oh, is it athletics or is it a strength check? I guess it doesn't matter either way because I have it's the same. Whoop.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Guys, I'm stuck.
Try and come over.
Okay, so that anything else? Like you're just calling out the turtles there. You're not really looking around you except for like at your feet and trying to pull out of the mud.
Pretty much.
Anything else that you would do? That would have been your action. I mean, we're
I don't
getting kind
notice
of
what
meta
else is-
here, I suppose.
Yeah,
You
well, I don't
know
notice what
anything
else is going around, so I'm I was really enjoying this conversation with the turtle, and all of a sudden I look down. I'm like, oh my feet, dear me.
Galgrim.
And I'm having trouble getting out, obviously.
Yeah.
And that'll end my turn.
Galgrim.
I am slowly making my way over to help Wisp up. To help Wisp get out of the mud.
Okay. You're aware of everything around you.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So I would just need like an athletics check to pull her out.
Yep.
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
Hey.
You lift her right up and you put her back onto some dry land.
It's just like reaching around my legs and dragging me out.
So that's
yeah,
partial movement, action. Anything else you'd like to do?
I would just say, Wisp, there's skeletons rising from the ground. If you finish your little chat with the turtle there, you might want to arm yourself.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. We'll get we'll do that.
I think he had another 5 feet of movement. Or are you good there?
I think I might just move to the right, just here.
Okay.
There we go.
Bells.
All right, I'm gonna move on to more solid ground. I'm assuming this is more solid than the mud I'm in. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, think of that's like kind of dirt-covered cobble. Where you were was okay. You guys
All right, well,
stop there.
just to be safe.
Yeah.
Now let's see which one. Oh, they're both 25. Let's see, which one looks meaner? I'm gonna go for the purple one. The purple one looks meaner. Cast.
What before you cast, what did you do with the statue?
So I had it in my hand when I moved over here. I dropped it onto the ground just because I'm like I don't have time to shove it in my pack, so I'm just gonna drop it. Deal with that later.
Okay.
Saving my friends is more important than statue.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are going to do frostbite. Let's see, Constitution saving throw on my pulse. Yeah, I can pulse. The bottom left one. I believe it is EC 13.
Okay. It's a con save.
Con save, yes.
I'm just gonna make that save.
Okay, then nothing happens. Just shakes off the frost. That's action
Just-
movement.
Yeah, just the process of it appearing. You're hearing like bones just kind of like clink together. It's sure footing, but yeah, something. Maybe the magic in the idol, but it blocked you from being able to do anything.
I think that, yeah, that's gonna be all I can do. Because then all I have left is bonus action, and I don't think anything myself's bonus action at this point.
Right. So yeah, you're gonna hear just like almost like bones hitting bones, just like a clack 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 clack, and like almost like in a pattern, like as if it's laughing or something. I'm gonna need wisdom saving throws from all three of you as it begins to move forward.
Oh, I did an ability wisdom check. My bad. Not a saving throw.
Well, I mean, it was a high enough D20, so we'll go with it. But it is going to move forward. This one is going to move forward. They're going to start moving in on you guys. So first one will... So number one will strike at Calgrim. And it just kind of like extends its arm, like as if it's using its arm as like a bat of some kind. It's going to hit for a total of 6 bludgeoning damages. It just kind of gets you in the shoulder, like in between the shoulder and your and base of your neck.
Ah. Ouch.
Number 2 is going to, in similar, again, it has its bones, but I think Wisp, you're gonna notice like the bone is almost like sharpened. Got like a sharp edge to it, its arm, and it will connect. Verify. Yep, it's gonna connect for a total of 2 piercing, as it just like drives its like fingers into you.
Ow.
As they return, Wisp. Skeleton has walked up to you. It's very decrepit looking. Very flimsy. Almost like the skeleton you were looking to pick up. This one looks to be in a similar condition where bones aren't necessarily attached, together properly. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm not thrilled by this random turn of events, and so I'm going to tap into my connection with nature and turn myself into a giant crab.
Hey, all right, give me a second.
I know. I should have sent these to you ahead of time.
All right.
Got an armor class 15.
It'll take me a moment. Giant crab.
A medium creature. Thank you for bearing with us as we turn myself into a giant crab.
Yeah, no, these are things that we should take care of. But yeah,
I'll send you a
never know
list
when they're-
later.
Yeah, they never know when they're coming up. So
No.
okay, I'll go ahead and take you briefly off the map.
Druid's
Crab
always
is in
causing
place.
trouble.
You should have control over it.
Yep.
That is an action to do. Bonus action movement, free action.
I'm just gonna clack my claws at it and wait for my next turn.
Yes, there's definitely a boost in your armor class. Not so much hit points, but that's okay. Very well. Galcom, you were struck by this pile of bones, the skeleton. Come up, and yeah, bones are just kind of like rattling, almost like it's like laughing. Or did you just the pattern in the sound?
I'm just gonna get my warhammer and just smash the skeleton in. Attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll connect. Go ahead and roll your damage. All
8.
right. So yeah, you swing with the warhammer. It collides with this pile of bones, sending some of the ribs down to the ground. You do a nice chunk of damage. It is looking strong still, though, but definitely effective.
And also, looking a bit of a surprise is Wisp turns into a crab.
Yeah, you look over your shoulder, you don't see Wisp anymore. There is a crab.
A giant crab.
Has, yeah. All right, Vel.
All right.
Oh, go
So
Any movement? Any other thing you want to do?
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say I'd just end my turn. Yeah.
All right, very good, Vels.
all right. Well, I'm not exactly happy that guy resisted my freezing, so I'm going to try. Yes. I'm gonna hex. And this time I'm actually gonna do the one up near Wisp, just because I know Calgrim's stronger and can probably deal with the one that's closer to him more easily than the one next to Wisp. So try to hex the Wisp.
Okay, I'll just.
I don't. Is there a save on this? I think it's
put
just
this token on it for now, so we know.
all
I
right.
think it's just hexed.
Cool. So I'm gonna give it disadvantage on Constitution checks. Rolls.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, that is a bonus action, so you still have your action.
Oh, that's a bonus action. Cool. So we're gonna. I'm like trying to keep Frostbite and Ray of Frost separate. I'm like, wait, which one's which? Frostbite. All right. I'll try frostbiting the one next to the one that's been hexed. So now it should have disadvantage on it. Save, I believe.
All right, very good. Let's go ahead and Constitution save at disadvantage. You'll fail that save.
Yes.
So your magic works this time.
Yay.
Covered with frost. Go ahead and roll your damage, and then you also get
And-
an extra d6.
Yeah. 6. And it's and it has its disadvantage on the next weapon attack too, so that's cool.
Very cool.
Sweet. That's working.
And remember that if it does drop, you have the ability to move that hex.
Yes.
This lasts for an hour. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, it's covered in frost, and as you see the frost kind of affect it and then melt away, there's almost like a charred, like little patches of blackness, like charred look to the bones. product damage.
All right.
Anything
That
else?
one, my
There's
turn.
action.
Yep, that will be
That's
it.
good. All right, this guy will move here. Guy will move here. First one is going to once again try to slam its arms up against you, Calgrim. At a disadvantage, though, I believe, right? But
No,
disadvantage
the
on
one,
ability checks. There's an ability. Said weapon attack. I'm trying to find
the
it.
one next to
Hmm.
Wisp is weapon attack. If you look at Frostbite, target must you failed save, takes damage, has disadvantage on the next weapon attack rolled
Oh,
before
I
end of its next
I
turn.
apologize. I thought you were hitting this guy. All right, give me 1 second. Let me revert that.
Oh,
This guy has. Okay. Actually, that's enough to take this one down.
oh,
So yeah, the bones kind of freeze in place, and as soon as the ice dissipates, it collapses. It is dead.
okay. So, bonus action.
So okay, so this guy is gonna move up over on Calgrim. So first guy down to the south, number 1 is going to reach out with its bones. Try to hit you again. Will for a 22. Damage is 4 bludgeoning damage. The guy behind you, number 3, is gonna swing its arms. Will connect for a total of 4 piercing as it like just drives like an elbow bone into you. A total of 8 damage there.
Oops. It's minus 4 again.
And quick table talk. Are you applying these this damage to your character sheet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vels, just to be clear, you have not been hit. This is all Calgrim.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that was.
I
thought it
saw
was the
your
bottom
token
right
color
one.
change. I didn't see Calgrim's. That's why I asked.
I thought it was the bottom right
but-
when you were saying was hitting. So
No, 1 and 3 have hit. So a total of 8 damage to you.
17
4
hit
bludgeoning,
points.
4 piercing.
Okay.
Vels, though, the one below or next to you, number 4, is going to use its arm bones. Slam you. It is going to connect for a total of 6 bludgeoning damage. It just hits you like on the side of the head.
ow.
Wisp, now a crab. The one skeleton next to you just kind of fell into the mud and starting to sink back down. But you see the rest of your party is somewhat surrounded. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna scuttle forward next to number 3. Still angry at these skeletons for interrupting my conversation with the turtle, and I'm going to use a claw attack. And not do very well.
Yeah. Yeah, you try to pinch it, but it is somehow able to move out of the way.
I'm not used to
Anything
being a
else?
crab. It's just kind of a first time thing.
Anything else?
I will clack my claws frustrated, and then I'm going to use a Balm of the Summer Court to do a d6 for Kalgrim.
Is that a what is that? Is that a spell?
So I can heal. Yeah, I can heal.
So I
at this
think
point,
we
1d6.
did this. I think we did this last time. But as when you're wild shaped, you can't cast.
I
any
can
spells
because this is a feature of my class. It doesn't have anything to do with wild shape.
Okay. No, you're right, because it is a just a class or not a. It's just a passive ability that's happening. So, okay, we'll allow.
Okay. Aha! So Kalgrim, you get 6 hit points back.
Oh, thank you.
I will mark that off.
Yep.
Okay, and that will end my turn as the giant crab.
Calgrim.
I'll probably go for a swing at the first skelly again with my hammer. Here we go. 13. And... Ah. Didn't really do so well then. A little bit.
Sorry,
Chipped away at it.
I was thinking. Who did you attack? One or
Oh,
three?
sorry. Skelly 1.
Kelly one. That will connect. So yeah, three damage. Very good. Again, you crunch some bones. Anything else?
I think I'll end my turn.
Bells.
All right, I'm not happy that number 4 whacked me, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to move the hex to him. So now he has disadvantage on Constitutionness, and I'm going to attempt to frostbite him.
All right, so another con save. It's gonna make that save.
Okay, that ends my turn then.
Very, very good. So yeah, this guy just up in your face. It's hard to get anything crucial off. All right, Calcrum, you are flanked by 2 of these guys. They're both going to attack you.
Ah.
From number 1, you're gonna get 2 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Yeah.
For number 2, 7 piercing damage. Again, just drives an elbow bone right into your back.
You're like sharp bones then.
Grab. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Bells, this guy is going to try to attack you. He's going to utterly fail. Just starts to like raise up to reach, sees that you're casting magic and kind of stops. Grab. What like to do? Crap. You're muted.
Oh, thank you. I attack with my claws.
I know as a crab I can't understand you. But
Yep.
yeah,
No, my
I'm not
mic
sure.
was muted.
All right, that is going to miss. So again, as it drives an elbow into Calgrim, you try to clip it, and yeah, it's moving too fast for you.
No.
But you do think that again, you carry the mental capacity of Wisp. You do think if you move around here, you might get a better spot.
I'll
Maybe
take the hint.
even advantage.
apparently I can't attack from this direction, so I'm going to move 10 feet over here and try and get it from the back.
Yeah.
And then my turn.
Galgrim. Again, you're surrounded. You're getting hit by both sides. It is painful. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna activate Second Wind. Usability. Yes. On the other hand, you can use a bonus action to regain equal to 1d10.
+3, yeah.
I don't know. So
Should automatically include that +3, so just hit the healing button.
oh yeah.
13
Nice.
points
Oh,
back
cool.
to you.
There you go. And
So that's
then
your bonus action?
bonus action, and then I can go for another swing at the skelly one. Oh, I did normal. My bad. Wait, attack?
No,
Yes.
you're good. You're good with normal.
Okay. There we go. And 5.
19 hits this time. It you crush right into its chest. You see again bones fall. It is looking pretty bad. Looks like maybe one more of those.
Hmm.
Anything else?
That'll be it. I'll end my turn there.
Bells.
I'm gonna try to frostbite this guy again. So, let's see, will this disadvantage help me?
Yes, it will.
Yay.
Fail that save.
So, and then actually I'll add 1d6. So, oh wow, that's pretty good.
Oh, you added the D6 to that. Okay, very good.
Yeah,
So,
from the necrotic, I'm like, I'll just do it in one.
perfect.
And that one, my turn.
So, yeah, it is looking rather rough. As you see the ice fade, it bones start to drop. It is still standing, but doing good work. Skeleton's turn. They're going to continue working on Kelgrim. Number 1. Bone to the chest. It is going to attempt. It is going to find an opening in your armor. And it's just going to... It's starting to bruise you. You're going to get 4 bludgeoning from that. The elbow. Elbow to the back. Going to connect. The 3 piercing. Again, it's like hitting the same spot every time.
Jeez, nice.
And Vels, this guy is gonna swing its arm at you, but you are able to duck out of the way. Brings us to Wisp.
Well, as Crab, I do what Crab does, and rawr, come on, hit this
Roll
thing.
at an advantage.
No.
All right, so you are flanking, so you have an
Oh,
advantage.
that's right. I do have advantage.
So just go ahead and roll a
Well,
normal
one more
roll. Okay. Ah, there
Yeah,
we go.
there we go.
Hey.
There we go.
Okay. Do damage.
You bludgeoning damage.
And it is
as you-
grappled.
As you grab a hold of it and you pull it with you, it is, now grappled. So its movement speed is 0, but it can still act.
I think it has disadvantage on attacks as well, right?
Let's verify.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Grappled. Speed is 0. It can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. And that's it.
Okay.
That's all
Oh.
grappled is. It's pretty weak.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Restrained, I think, is what you're thinking.
Probably, yeah.
But now that it is grappled, you can use a strength check if you want to try and restrain it next turn. But the strain, yeah, it's attack rolls against it have advantage, and its rolls are at a disadvantage.
Can I try and pull it back as part of my movement?
Yeah, you could. It is part of your movement, so you can pull it back wherever.
I'm just gonna try and pull it back, like, let's say to, like, kind of in front of me right here.
All right. And I would say that Calgrim, you get an opportunity back here. As it elbows you, you turn to look at it, and the crab has picked it up and is starting to pull away. You can react with a shot if you like.
Okay. I'll I could probably move towards that one.
No, it's as it's moving away
Oh,
from
right.
you. So you could take another swing to it.
Okay, yeah, I'll swing it with my hammer again.
Oof. I would say go ahead and roll out again, because you would have had advantage with flanking, because the crab was on the other side.
Okay.
Oof. Let me verify. Yeah, that is gonna miss.
Damn.
But Calgrim, it is your turn. You just have one now that's on you. What would you like to do?
I'll try and finish off Skelly 1. And attack. Oh damn, missing now.
Bells.
All right, I am going to once again frostbite this guy. Very predictable.
Gonna fail.
All right, and the 1, 6. And that one my turn. Oh, up to the last turn, actually. That's funny.
So that is gonna hurt it really bad. Again, it looks like this guy is almost down. One more shot like that would do it. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Number 3 with crab, it is going to try and break out of your grasp. I'm gonna need strength check from you.
Nope. It's a very tenuous.
It's not gonna break away. Not gonna break away. It tries to pull away from you. Some bones drop in the process. It is very fragile and weak. Calgrim, another shot. Will connect for a total of 4 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Vel's another shot as it swings its arm at you. Will connect for 4 bludgeoning. That's their turn. Crab. Got this guy grappled.
Oh,
Got
right.
easy. I mean, you could easily claw him again, or you can try to restrain him further, but he's not breaking away from you, from what you can tell.
Well, I have him in one claw, so I'm going to use the other claw to attack him again. Come on, claw. Yeah!
It'll connect. And that is enough to take it
Ooh.
down. As you just like crush
Take my
right
climb.
through it, splits in 2.
Yeah! I just saw Indy's chat message. All right, and I'm going to move closer to this guy right here. And collect my claws in it, and also use another Balm of the Summer Court on Culgrim. I'm gonna roll a d6 and go. You get 5 more hit points.
Oh, thank you. There we go.
And that ends my turn.
Very good. Calgrim.
Okay, I'm gonna
You're
go again
feeling
with
hurt,
my
but you
Warhammer.
feel energized.
Yeah.
Warhammer shot, okay. Another crushing blow, hopefully. 11 will be enough.
Okay.
That's going to take it down. Rush right
There you
through
go.
it. Bones scatter. Just kind of explodes as you hit.
And now I'm gonna move. Am I able to move here to get around to try and flank the?
You can push through friendly space. If you want to go
Okay.
straight through, yeah, you're fine.
I'll just move there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be my
Bells.
turn.
We're gonna try to frostbite again. Let's see.
We'll make that safe.
All right. Well then, that's it for my turn.
It is surrounded, but it is going to take a shot at Vels. Will connect. Again, it swings its arm towards you. This one is going to hit you hard. It's like
Ow.
it knows it's going to go down and is hitting with everything. It's got 7 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Turn Wisp.
Well, seeing that it hit my friend, I'm very unhappy, and so I'm going to do what Crab does again and claw at this
Advantage.
skeleton.
Yeah, with
Advantage! Yeah!
There we go. And roll your damage.
Hey.
2!
That's enough.
But it's grappled.
Yeah, no, actually, that's enough. You go ahead and clip it, and to pick it up, and as you do, it just kind of falls.
Just kind of
apart
cleave it
your
into.
hands.
And
Yeah. Marks us out of combat. Everybody, roll me a perception.
the crab starts like picking up the bones and like eating the dead pieces off of it.
As you start grabbing hold of these bones and starting to gnaw on it, you hear the sound of like sloshing, like something like hitting the water, like moving through the water. You look
Can I
up
tell which-
to the north, Grab, and right about here, the idol, the little statuette, has rolled away, and it is in the process of rolling.
I'm gonna drop the bones and chase after it.
I think everyone seeing the crab do that as like first you scan around, make sure there's no one else coming. See the crab start scuttle over. Realize the statuette is not where you dropped it, fellas. It is rolled.
Oh gosh, that's my own.
If I get to it, I'm gonna try and pick it up in my claws. My rather large, meaty claws.
Dexterity check, so like acrobatics. Go with acrobatics.
Oh,
Try to grab a hold of it through the water and mud. Just miss it. Moves forward.
is anyone following?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna keep trying to pick this thing up.
We're in free action territory, so free movement. So do
Alright.
do what you guys need to do.
That's
Gonna keep trying to pick this thing up. So
yeah. Carefully make my way over and drink my potion of healing as an action. Let's see. There's that.
Still can't pick this thing up.
I'll waddle my way over there
Hit
and try and pick it.
All right, as you reach forward, grab, moves away again, moves here. Calgrim, acrobatics check as it tries to move out of your way, seemingly. You miss it as well, but it gets here and it just kind of stops. But you guys are going to notice something else. You're going to notice that like ripples in the water, like every few moments, every few seconds, and the glowing is getting much brighter, or is that red glow that was emitting from it before?
I forgot that I retain my intelligence as a druid, so I'm going to return back to my normal elf form.
Right, very good. But Vels, as you reach it, it just stops and almost like sits up.
All right, seeing that, I'm like, Vels is gonna hesitate. Like, wait, what? That's weird. Just so hesitating for a second.
Wisp is going to pick it up.
Okay, and then Wisp picks it up.
Yep. I want to pick up this thing.
But as you step forward to pick it up, you got your hands on it. You notice that it is warm. You can feel it vibrating, almost like a pulsing to it. But as you step, you hear another sound that you weren't necessarily expecting, and that is a crack of wood.
I think you cut out there.
Crack of wood.
Ooh.
Oh.
What direction do I hear it coming from?
Directly underneath you.
I'm going to step over onto something a little bit more solid, and I recommend everyone do the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Vels, as you move over that space, you also hear it. And as you look down, as you do, it looks like there is some kind of wood, almost like if you will, a wooden pressure plate on the ground.
Oh.
Maybe a wooden trapdoor made out of spruce wood. It's like that nice texture.
Well, I take a moment and put the idol in my pocket after wondering why on earth it is warm and is vibrating. It's very weird.
But yeah, as you guys look down, there's definitely like a wooden piece there. There's a little bit of moss and overgrowth over top of it. It is on a bit of a dry land, but yeah, there is something wood there, and it looks doesn't look natural. It looks like like something was built there.
I'm gonna hit it with my staff and just see if it opens like that, or if I actually have to.
How hard are you hitting it?
Like medium force, not like really hard, but like hard enough to where I'd get an effect, but not like hard enough to where I'm going all the way in.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of ricochets off of it. The wood of your staff, the wood of the thing on the ground. It sounds like wood on wood action.
Okay.
Doesn't
Question,
crack it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
How are you both doing on health?
I'm on 19.
Hey, that's table talk.
Well,
He's looking hurt.
Are you looking rough?
He's looking. No, not as rough as he was before.
I drunk a health potion, so I'm like Doing all right.
Yeah. You look at both of them and they look very similar. Bruised, some puncture wounds, but other than that, not bleeding out. Dying.
Okay, I'm gonna hand Vels my healing potion, and then I'm going to cast Healing Word on Kalgrim. Yeah, so you regain six more hit points,
Ah, thank you.
just in case.
Looking much better.
All right, so are we gonna go? So this is a door. Looks like a door. Let's see what's under the
Looks
door.
like it. It seems decently sturdy, which is weird considering everything we've seen so far has been wanting to break apart.
Yeah, you heard a little bit of a crack as you stepped on it, but yeah, just looking at it, looks pretty sturdy.
All right, I'm gonna carefully bend down and try to open it.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of feel around, and yeah, you do feel, you do find what appears to be like a ring, like a metal ring. Does seem like you're able to pull up on it. As you do, you reveal staircase. There's a bit of a lip, so no water rushes into it, but yeah, there's a little bit of staircase that goes down.
So who's going first?
Well, considering I opened it, I guess I am. Like, what is... This just got weird fast.
Okay, so you're entering in.
Yes, I am.
Okay. You see what appears to be a staircase. And I would think at least passively you would see there is some light further down, and it looks like the staircase leads about 15 to 20 feet down.
All right, so I'll carefully make my way down then.
Okay, and everyone else is following.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, move to another map.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Up ahead, it is rather dark, but as you get to this place right here, you are able to see there is some light coming from either side. It's hard to tell what's causing the light, but in the center, you are seeing what appears to be a pedestal of some kind, and it is pulsing this red light. I think that should be visible from everyone's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Calgrim, I think you've got a little bit further view. Well, no, I guess at this point, all of you do. The light that you're seeing come from other sides of the room. So Calgrim, you see the one to the top right. Bells, you're seeing two, I think. Top left and top right, and Wisp, you're seeing one on the top left. Looks like pillars with some kind of torch hanging off of it, just flickering this white light. Bells, as you delve further in, get a little bit more of a view. You're seeing there's 4 pillars, and each pillar has a torch on it. Doesn't look like a normal torch, though. It looks different, like a white light rather than a orangish yellow light.
Like,
Before Vels gets too far, I am going to cast Enhanceability on him and give him Fox's Cunning, which gives you advantage on intelligence checks. Eh.
And you're communicating that with him, right?
Yes.
Okay. I feel smarter.
Just in case.
Yes. Like being very careful because it like looks like I can barely see, I guess.
Oh,
Except lights.
do you have dark vision?
No.
No.
he doesn't.
Oh, that's right.
He's just seeing these lights,
Yeah, I'm just seeing the lights
but
and
not
like,
much in between.
like being very careful.
Wisp, Calgrim, you guys both have dark vision. You can see you're in a bit of a box type of room. Looks to extend maybe 50-ish by 50-ish feet. But both of you, as you guys get onto this this floor here, you're going to notice there's a lot of bones that are just scattered all over the floor in this room. But where that pedestal is, you're going to see just silhouettes of something sticking out from on top. Just with the way things are lit and that pulsing red light, it's hard to tell what they are from where you guys are standing. Looks like there's at least 5 of them.
Well, I want to know what's going on, so I'm going to move up to that light.
Further in, and I think from where everyone is standing, they're seeing the same thing. It appears that, yeah, there are 5 of these statuettes, very similar to what you guys have, but there's five others. Appear to be in different positions. I have perception checks from everyone. We'll do a group check this time. Just roll perception. That's much better.
Nice.
Much better. All right. So yeah, five of these statuettes, different positions, arranged on this pedestal. Two on either side. So on the left side and right side, like in the center line, are bowing inward towards the center. There is one that is off to the front left, facing inward towards the center of the pedestal. Appears to be reading from some kind of scroll. There is one that is directly in the center, in the back center. So like right, it's like the closest one to you guys. Seems to be facing towards you, like towards the doorway. Has a spear in hand. And the last one is directly behind him, next to the one that's reading from the scroll, is on hands and knees, hands tied behind back. It looks like it's shackled.
So what do these little statuettes look like? Like, what are they made from?
Same material, same face types. All. It's like a solid black color.
Okay, so they're similar to the idol that we picked up.
Correct. One another thing you would notice is that there is a space in the center, where there is nothing.
Well, gentlemen, what do you think?
Seems like whatever statue you found belongs here.
Quite possibly.
It seems like
Perhaps
there's a
try.
spot for it.
Should we put this with the rest of them, or does it seem like a good idea?
The statue that you have placed it's in your bag, correct, Wisp?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it out.
It is vibrating pretty heavy, like it is doing a number on your back.
Ooh.
But as you pull it out, like the pulse is strong now, and it seems to match the pulse that's coming from the pedestal.
Look it back at the other two and then place it in the spot that it looks like it's meant to be. Because I want to see what happens.
Okay, anyone stopping?
No.
No.
Okay. The red pulse is going to fade away. You're gonna hear some sounds. Like the placing it into the center. It almost like kind of like starts to like sink in. You just hear a click, and the entire room just lights up. And in the back of the room, you're going to see the wall shift. The door opens.
I'm going to start heading towards it.
Yeah. I wonder if the people that had it originally took it from here, which set off a chain that caused this thing to want to come back, and that's what's been causing everything.
Ooh. I hadn't thought of that. As she steps through the doorway and...
Yeah, you guys kind of have to tiptoe around in here just because, again, there's bones just like scattered everywhere.
Well,
But
I'm going to
as
keep
you
going as far
reach-
as I can.
As you reach the what appears to be the back of the room, there are a pair of double doors, like they're made out of stone. Based on your understanding of hinges, whatnot, it looks like it's a push door.
Is there...
There what?
Is there a door handle?
No.
Try pushing on the door.
Yeah, it opens pretty easily.
Ooh.
And we open it. And you see another pillar, pretty similar. Vels, I would say you would see the other pillar on the right-hand side. But in the center of this room is a chest.
Gonna head right up to it. And I'm gonna bend down and try to open this thing.
As you bend down, you're going to notice there is a little bit of inscription engraved into the clasp. And it goes. It's not necessarily the clasp, like it's like around the outer rim.
Is it in a language that I can read?
I am double checking.
So it is not in Druidic, Elvish, or Sylvan.
You are the first one to go down and you see this you kind of have to be at an angle to see it. See it, you don't recognize the script.
I poke Vels and just kind of point to the script. Any idea what this is?
How well can I see it, considering I don't have dark vision?
The light that is in here, you could definitely get an angle that you could see it if you bent down.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages.
Did you look at it first?
Yeah. Well, hold up. Before I do that, actually, then. So looking at it, see, languages I know. Common and Draconic. So unless it's Draconic, I'd have to...
It's Draconic.
Oh, it's Draconic. Okay, then. Never mind.
It reads,
Or
on deciding the fate of his people, a weak king must dig multiple graves, while a strong king must dig only one. Didn't mean to type that as you, but get the gist.
well, I imagine he would be reading it out.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. I wonder what that means.
I have no idea. Let's find out what's inside.
Okay. So it doesn't seem to. There's no like obvious lock to it. There's just a clasp that's over top of where a lock would be. So you open it up. It's pretty easy to open.
All right, so
and inside there are 3 items. There is a wooden quarterstaff. Looks generally normal, but two differences. It looks like there are small buds that are growing from the top of it, and the bottom you see little, almost like roots coming from the bottom of it. There is a oval-shaped black stone. It's kind of laying there, so it doesn't seem like it's carved in any way. It's just a black stone, a similar size to what the others were, but just a full oval, circle type thing. Calgrim, it does seem familiar to you. And the third item is there is a white statuette, very similar to what you saw outside in that center room, but carved out of a white stone, almost like a marble, maybe. And the only difference is that the dragon-esque humanoid is standing with arms stretched out.
Well, I'm going to reach forward and pull out the staff because that looks pretty and interesting.
I'm gonna grab the statuette. That.
I'm gonna grab the stone.
Huh. It's almost as if it had something for each of us.
Yeah.
I'm going to look around the room. Is there anything of note, like on the walls?
No etchings. There's no. It's just very like the pillars are very smooth. The walls themselves, nothing necessarily. I mean, it's interesting that something like this is here in the middle of the swamp.
Right.
That seems off, but as far as structure, it mimics other things that you've seen elsewhere. Stone brick type texture to the wall.
Is there any way I can guess how long this has been here?
Well, maybe not, but you know a guy that might be able to figure that one out.
Oh, a guy. I turned to Vels. Do we?
You.
Oh.
Oh.
Anybody have any idea how long this has been here? I'm really curious, and I have no idea.
Don't know. I could check. Could have a look. Go and like, touch the walls.
Calgrim, look at your
Okay.
sheet. You've got a thing called stone cunning. Check out what that does.
Ooh.
Aha. Okay. So I just click stone cutting?
Yeah. Well, no, I guess not. Roll a history check, and then we'll add an additional +2 to that.
Okay.
All right. So with stone cutting, you have so whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you are considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to it. So,
Ooh.
what you can tell, this was at least the way it's set up. It seems like it was some kind of religious site. Just how, as far as like the rooms are set up, the pillars, it being underground would mean to you that it was probably something that they wanted to be hidden, or there was maybe a structure above that you just don't see anymore. So like a basement of a church or something like that. Again, you guys saw no signs upstairs of like any kind of structure there. It was just that trapdoor you found.
So they built a castle and it sank into the swamp.
But as far as age, as far as who built it, you definitely think it's probably Elven. And it's probably a century old. At least.
Oh, wow.
The other thing that
Interesting.
you notice is that rock you got, that oval shaped stone that you have. You are familiar with the concept. You've never seen one before. You're familiar with the concept. If you're right, you think it's a dwarven egg. Or a thing called a dwarven egg. And basically, it is like a good luck charm that either dwarves carry around with them or that they give out to people. So it is thought to bring protection, good fortune, and it's also a cure for baldness.
Right.
Did you say a cure for baldness? You kind of cut out there.
Yes, I did. That was what I said.
I love it.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Oh, I'm be sure to keep this for my travels.
I'm sure you'd relay the rest of the information to Wisp, who was asking.
Yes. This stone thing is like a dwarven egg with like good fortune and stuff, from what I've heard, but I haven't seen one before, so it's interesting how there's something here for each of us in this place, considering how far we are in the swamp.
Dwarves don't really come from. They don't come from egg. No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm also kind of taken aback that this is like an elven structure, because I haven't really had a whole lot of contact with my own people aside from just like my family, and so I'm finding this all very interesting.
curious as to why there would be an elven-like structure this far out into the swamp. And we haven't seen much sign of
dragon.
elven stuff.
Yeah,
with dragon type stuff in it as well.
Hmm.
Very curious indeed. I wonder if there used to be a dragon here that was worshipped, or I don't know, maybe there was some story, or I don't know. This is very interesting.
yes, opens up a lot of questions about who used or who built this and why.
To a safe
Yeah.
place and maybe stopping for the night. I'm gonna definitely write all this down in my notes. Can I take a closer look at the staff in my hands and see if I can kind of recognize the type of wood and
I mean, it's cool.
What's
It's
going on
cool
with it?
looking. Like, again, it seems like a normal wooden quarterstaff, similar to things that you've seen elsewhere or hold yourself.
Mhm.
But the fact that it's like growing, it's alive. There's buds at the top. If it's like part of a tree that was somehow preserved, roots at the bottom, yeah, showing signs that maybe it can grow. Is growing.
does it
That'd be
feel
your initial pass through.
does it feel sort of alive in some way, like it has the potential for
just-
growth?
Just
okay.
the visual of those two items.
Okay. I kind of tie my old staff to my pack and just kind of hold on to this one for a while.
Okay.
Well, do we think that we've solved this mystery, or do we think that this kind of did really anything here?
Well, considering the small statue was vibrating and when we put it in, it stopped. Maybe this area was vibrating the entire swamp. That was lifting everything up. Maybe trying to get the statue back, and potentially by fixing
True.
it, we've stopped.
Well, and the stories of these
In-
bones only started, like, not a crazy amount of time ago, and it was probably around that time that the those adventurers may have taken that idol.
It would make sense.
Quite possibly.
So perhaps this mystery's been solved, but now many more mysteries have been opened up.
Indeed.
Now we're going to have to see if we can find out what this place is, and if we have time.
Maybe find someone that knows more about the area that's been around longer. Might have some connections that might know something.
Or if maybe at some point we can find, I don't know, some elves that used to be in this area. I don't know where they are though, so we'll put that on the back burner.
Yeah.
I think you guys would be aware that information like that could probably be gathered from the Scholars Guild. Maybe you can do that within Whitmor, or at least send information out for further research out in Havestead.
Oh, there's a Scholars Guild.
But for the immediate future, where do you guys go from here? Are you heading back to Blackgate to hop on a boat to head back home?
For me, yes, because I want to get rid of the stench of the swamp smell as quickly as possible.
It's rough. It never really went
Yeah.
away.
I imagine it'll take us a good part of the day to get back to
Yeah.
the city, so when we get there, probably rent a room and I, for one, would probably like a bath.
Yeah, based on what you saw, and how everyone seemed, if you're looking for a bath, heading back to Whitmor is going to be your bet.
So I'm gonna have to wait. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Just have to live with the stench for a bit.
Mm.
Well, unless there's a ship going out that day, then we're gonna have to spend the night here at Blackgate.
Well, it's still early in the morning. You guys arrived at about 8 o'clock. You spent maybe an hour in town and traveling to where you are now back to Blackgate would be late afternoon. So it's definitely possible there's a ship heading out. Again, they can travel 24 hours a day. So I would say it's very likely that you get a ship back.
Well, in that case, just go straight to Whitmor.
All right.
I will defer to the group.
So items. It sounded like Wisp, you were holding on to that staff, like in your hand. What's everyone else doing with the things they picked up?
I'm gonna keep the stone in my pack. For
Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this white statue. It's very curious. Maybe the Scholars Guild would know something about it, so it's a definite question I want to ask them at some point.
Okay. All right, so you guys head back to Blackgate. One thing that is going to be very noticeable as soon as you get it back to the surface, you look around to the battlegrounds that you saw before, or that you experienced. All the bones are gone, seemingly sunk back into the ground. You guys are, by the way, that turtle is gone too. It must have jumped off the log and went somewhere else. But as you guys head back, again, the walk there, you saw the bones just kind of scattered about randomly. Now you can't even see one. Even those adventurers that you passed, they have seemingly disappeared as well, sunken into the earth.
Now they can be at rest.
You make it back to Blackgate, and it's as it was before. Fish is pretty heavy in the air. Find a boat, takes you back to Whitmor. 4 hours in the boat, examining.
I immediately go below deck.
Yeah, you would have had plenty of time to examine these items and get an idea of what they are. You all get a sense that they are magical, with magical means. So, would you prefer I announce them all out loud of what they are and what they do, or would you like me to send individual messages? Should we tell the chat or no?
I'm just going to tell everyone anyway, so.
Yeah, no, right?
All right. I'll put this into your sheets with everything as well, so I'll update those. But okay, the quarterstaff. While holding the staff with both hands, you can drive it into the ground, and it will grow into a tree swiftly. So we're talking 12 to 16 seconds. Full healthy tree.
Oh.
Oak. It remains as such until you not want it.
Interesting. So it's like instant tree, but it's portable.
Yep. The egg. Once between dawns, you can use it to do one of three things. It can either be used to cause disadvantage on any attack against you. I'm sorry, against really any attack that you see against you or your comrades. It'll cause disadvantage. Or you can give yourself advantage on an attack. Or you can use it to regrow your hair instantly. You never know.
I love
and
it.
then that the white dragon statue, while holding it, you gain a +3 to any charisma check or save when engaged with anyone who speaks Draconic. That could be in conversation or in battle.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to take the opal that I have in my old quarterstaff that I've been carrying around and attach it to the new tree staff that I'm going to be carrying around.
Yeah, it's just a normal quarterstaff otherwise.
Yeah.
But okay. And that's where we'll end.
Hey. And we each get 25 gold?
You each get 25 gold. And at some point, in between now and the next session, you guys level up.
Hey.
Now, level 4 adventurers.
Hey.
Ah, so exciting.
Yep.
Okay, with that, I'm going to say goodnight to the live chat. So thanks everyone for joining us. Bunny, Frill, it's good to see you. Candace. I know there's quite a few. The chat has scrolled away from me, but yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. Links in the description if you're watching this on replay as well, for everyone involved. But yeah, that's where we'll go. That's where we'll leave it. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye. It's always wonderful when